So I think having that eagerness to learn is why an apprentice is so important. And I think a lot of companies need to kind of recognize that younger people are interested in these things, and especially if they're doing an apprenticeship, it's something that they're passionate about. Yeah. So I think that's definitely important for companies to recognize.
Yeah, brilliant. And you've talked a little about the benefits, right? So I'm going to ask you about the challenges. Were there moments where it's been really hard doing an apprenticeship?
Yeah, definitely. There's been a lot of times where I've been like just overwhelmed with maybe some of the work, but with the degree and it being part-time, especially over the summer, there was a lot of time to kind of get the work done. So I didn't feel like I was under pressure for a long period of time. It was maybe just if there was an assignment that was stressing me out or something, but I suppose everyone has that. And then with the work side of things as well, they were very supportive if I needed any extra time. Especially in my final year of uni, I was actually diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma in the December of my final year. So that was definitely a big decision for me to make, whether I wanted to continue studying or defer for another year. And I kind of took that Christmas to kind of think about it. And once I'd realised the support was there from both uni and work, I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and do it and see how far I can get with it. So that's what I done. And I'm so grateful I done that, because it actually, in between all of my chemo and my appointments and my treatment, having that routine of work in uni was what kept me sane, I think. And just having some sort of routine and structure to my week. I didn't feel like I was sitting about just waiting for my next treatment. I think being able to feel appreciated in work as well, and what I was doing was being valued, was definitely very beneficial to me. So, and that, also with the university degree, my lecturers were so supportive in giving me extra time and extending my deadlines and stuff as well. And then work obviously gave me time off if I needed it, and a lot of support that way. Yeah. So that was probably the most challenging thing, but there was so much flexibility with an apprenticeship that you're given the time if you really need it, especially if you're in circumstances where you don't know if you'll be able to work all the time or be able to study all the time. So yeah, that was definitely
Well, Gina, you've carried something that not a lot of apprentices carry. You know, it's tough enough with having that diagnosis and the treatment. You know, it's amazing to see that you've come through that.
Yeah, I know. Definitely thriving. A year on, it's nice to look back and see how much I accomplished last year. I'd never be someone to kind of talk about my successes, but I think it was the hardest year of my life. So coming out of that, I was definitely proud of myself.
So you should be. We've been working on a project called Software for All with Software NI, and you've joined the advisory group on that. And I believe you've taken up the role of vice chair. Is that right?
Yeah.
Great. Tell us a bit about that then. What you're excited about?
I've only had one meeting so far, but it was such a great meeting, and it was nice to kind of get everyone's different inputs on what the next year was going to entail with Software for All. And being asked to be the deputy chair was definitely an honour. It felt very nice to be appreciated in that way, and that my values that my opinions were valued. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to get involved with that a bit more. So, I know we've got a few more meetings coming up. So
So the project's all about helping more people into software, but with a particular focus on helping more females into software. Yeah. What do you think are some of the barriers that there might be for females considering software?
Yeah, so I think when a lot of people look at software, they do think it is a male-dominated field, which is the case in a lot of situations. But I think in the past few years, especially in Liberty, there's been a definite increase in the amount of women I've been working with. I know in a lot of the teams that I started out in, there wasn't many females at all. So I've noticed a big change in that in the past few years, and there's a lot more groups for women in tech. I know in Liberty they have a women in tech group that I've just recently joined as well. So I think it's so important for women to network and share their experiences, just to kind of look at each other and talk about how they got to where they were. And I think especially for me, looking at more senior women and in their roles, it kind of sets a goal for me of what I want to work towards and what I want to do. There is definitely still barriers, but I think there's a lot being done to overcome those barriers. And like Software for All is such a big initiative to overcome the kind of stigma around women in software.
Yeah. How do you think we get out that message? You know, we've talked about it a bit already, but that idea that it's not just about people in hoodies in a dark room by themselves. Like, how do we dispel that myth and show software for all the roles that exist? How do we do that?
If I take Liberty for an example, they have so many different groups that you can get involved in. Like, there's something for everyone in that company. So there's like environmental groups and Pride and Able, which I've just recently joined, which is has a focus on creating a comfortable working environment for everyone. So this looks at people who have mental or physical disabilities or neurodivergent people. And then, like in my case, someone who's just come out of treatment. Yeah. There's a lot of symptoms like brain fog and fatigue. And just being able to discuss those symptoms that I have and relate to other people, just to share my experiences has been a big thing, because it's not just you, there's a lot of people in the same situation as you. So I think having that safe working environment for all kinds of people is so important. And like you said, it's not just people sitting in a room coding, not talking to everyone or talking to anyone else. It is, software companies can be very social. Yeah. And I know especially with Liberty, we have a lot of social events on. We have them every month, and it's nice to be a part of those and meet different people as well, which is so important. Yeah.